Hello everyone, it's Peter here, Piotr Fisner. How you doing, guys? So, in today's episode, yes, we will do something really good for people who are starting fixing electronics. All the basic components, if you come in from the series where we introduce new apprentices, you had 3 videos, induction, and that was explained, all the basic components. If not, there is a playlist for the beginners, how to start with electronics, one of the older videos, and then I'm explaining over there what are the basic components, and you can Google it as well, you can learn them on your own, but what you need are tools. And I haven't seen one good video about tools. I think I've created something in the past, but I would like to start here and create a series. First tools, then how to use these tools, yes, and expectations about the prices for them. So what we're going to do is I will take several tools which I'm using on a day-to-day basis, and then I will show you how much I paid for them, and I'll tell you about the quality of each of them. Would I buy it again or maybe buy something else? And for me, if I have to go and buy something which is called mechanic, for instance, for 120 pounds, and I can buy something for 25 pounds, I will go buy that for 25 pounds and risk it and see if it's worth spending money on. And there is many of those items. So let's get started. Let's start off a multimeter, okay? So before, in the past, I had a multimeter called Metex. That's the multimeter I'm using now. We will talk how to use it later on. It has all basic features. It's not the best, but it's good enough. If you doing just what we're doing, or if you're joining Inte.Team as a repair technician, and you will live, like at the moment it's only for the UK. So if you want to work from home and fix electronics with us, so that we finding customers, we finding members for the Inte.Team, and you just working in your own spare time, and you get paid for the jobs done on a Uber type of basis, then most of the work which you start with will be good for this multimeter, yes. Now this is not fluke, and this is not costing huge amount of money. I pay for it about 20 pounds. We will check it on eBay. No, you won't, I think, find on eBay. We'll check it on AliExpress because that's where I bought it. Okay, so as you see, I bought several multimeters, yes, and the reason to that is that when one will fail, you just want to be sure that you've got something. Sometimes customers are coming with a weird fault, and I'm asking them to measure as well the voltages. So you can get this one, look, 427, yeah. So you can buy something for £5, and if you're skinny, that's a good choice as well, because better have something. This one is 11.39. No, that's not 11.39. That's just about 6-7 pounds as well. That's another one. But we will focus only on this one. The seller doesn't matter as long as you can get something. You see, that's about 17.54, and there is as well version of those super tiny. I know that some of them comes with those super thin. These are not super thin probes here, but yeah, none of them are. So you can get those super thin probes. They are awesome. You can buy them on other auctions as well. And they are from microelectronics, yes. But anyways, this meter AN9002 cost only 17.54 on AliExpress, excluding VAT. I'm not referral or anything of this company, so I won't get any commissions. But this is covering all the basics, and this is, if you're not skinny, if you want to buy something better, that has even Bluetooth, can connect with your mobile phone. So this is awesome device, literally. I was using Metex, which was much dearer than this one, but I can say that this is more than enough. Okay, so back to me now. Let me switch to to the camera. Okay, so you know, now these ones, look, those probes are super thin. One customer gave me these ones. These are nice silicone here, yes. Those which I've showed you, they are not silicone. So you can look for different ones. As long as they are super spiky, you'll be fine. Now, as per tools, you'll need as well flags, so the gel flags, that's the Coder YouTube guy as well, RMA218 King Bow. That's the one which I have. Sorry for not having a clear picture, but that's a good enough flags, and I'm using it and I'm happy with it. So the Coder recommended it, and I bought it. Now, I was having my old Polish solder. I bought new one and I'm super not happy. Don't buy this one. If you would see it online, don't buy this one. It's pathetic. I'm using this one. It's melting perfectly. You know, you just love it. And you're using this one and it's really. Now, this is a wick. Copper, just copper mesh. Yes. If you don't have a copper mesh, you can use old copper wire. Literally, I'm not even joking here. Old copper wire, which is a meshy kind of, you know, like a small threads. And you can that one as well if you're skinny on money and you don't want to spend, then that's okay as well. As per solder, I don't have recommendation. Unfortunately, till now, what I'm buying is a bag of yesterday, to the extent that yesterday I had to use soldering paste, which is dear, much dearer. That's a mechanic. Soldering paste, which is 180 degrees, about 183 degrees Celsius. I had to use this one because I couldn't solder two SMD components on Xbox Series X. I couldn't. These are voltage regulators. I couldn't solder them with this new stuff. I've switched to this one. Of course, there was no problem. So it is a difference in solder. That's why look for recommendations. I can't recommend anything at the moment. I'm super not happy with it, and if I will find something, a good solder, I will buy in a bulk, and I will even start to resell it, because there will be number of cases where people won't be happy. Now, these are screwdriver kits, okay? That's another stuff. As per screwdriver kits, there are a few of them which are worth. Yes, you can go for iFixit, which is dear, but to be true, I don't see the difference. There are people who are saying that iFixit is more robust. No, I can't confirm it. I can say that if you don't pick up proper tip, then you will end up in a trouble. But there are two types of these, and my wife bought blue one, which I like blue, but it doesn't matter, it's not relevant. This screwdriver, Saddle screwdriver kit, it has about 120 of bits, excuse me, but watch out, because there will be those who are double ones. And for instance, my wife don't have the tips, those type of tips which have a hole inside, which are security bits. So it's worth knowing if you've got this with more range of them, or you've got double sizes and double types. So I would go for the more variety, because then you will need another set, but you can get them from $9.99 on eBay, so they are not really dear. Again, not affiliate or anything, I'm just showing you what I'm using on a day-to-day basis. As you see, these costs are not super dear. Now, these are mats which should withhold up to 500 degrees, but they don't. Okay, these are super cheap from AliExpress. You pay just few quid for them. It's super cheap. I use them all over the place. I've got one under the microscope, one here, and one is spare over there all the time. They are super good for soldering. You don't burn places, apart when you will exaggerate with heat, either with your hot air gun or with something else. But if you've got more money and you've got more space and one designated place to just do your job, you can get bigger mat with magnets built in. So this is about 11 to 15 pounds or more, depend where you will buy it, but you can get them on AliExpress, you can get them on, my wife bought it at Timu or Temu, T-E-M-U, Tango Echo Mike Uniform. On this app, she risked it, she thought it won't come, but it actually came, and it's super cheap. She paid only 11 pounds something, either including or excluding VAT, and that came. Our guy here who works with us, he paid about 15 or 17 pounds for it, including or excluding VAT. I think he bought it on AliExpress. So don't quote me, because I haven't bought this one myself. I only bought those for 2 to 4 pounds. So they are super cheap and they are really robust. But keep in mind, they are not fireproof, you know, like 500 degrees. Don't count on that, yes? Still take into consideration surface on which you're doing, because you will end up with dark mark on your table, desk, or whatever you're using here, or bench, yes? So these are the basics, guys, and apart from that, there are few other devices which are worth mentioning, because meter and this we've got a lack of soldering station. Okay, so you can buy on eBay T12, Quico, or some other brand. They are really common and they are really cheap. They are already built. Or we can put T12 soldering station. Okay, and I'll show you which one I bought. I'm buying something which is DIY kit, but I don't recommend you to start off DIY kit. I'm buying those one which you can build yourself. The difference only, yes, 9542, 952, I don't know why there is a difference, but I want to show you tip. Here, this is, which one it is? Okay, so that's already built, okay? That's already built, and that's T12. But there are those DIY ones, and I don't screw in this bit here, so I can just insert and take out that tip whenever I want, which is making really quick, you know, in the usage, especially when you are doing some micro soldering, and then you just, you know, then you just need to switch from one tip to another. You can buy them of 20, like 58 here, yes. Okay. So this is another one, but again, yes, again, guys, that's 942, that's T12, exactly. It's a super short because this version doesn't have power supply. You can use power supply from the laptop, yes, as long as it has at least 19 volts, no more than 24 volts, and 3 to 5 amps, it's really fine. As actually, it's written here somewhere. Yeah, here, 24 volts and 3 to 5 amps, yes. So the more amps you have, the less you will use this power supply. So I would say if you can use something bigger than 3.3, 3.6 amps, use that power supply, because you can definitely, you know, have the benefit of a margin, yes. But it's a brilliant station. If you time voltage times your amps, you'll know how many watts you'll gain from it. It's a superb stuff. Again, I'm not an affiliate or anything. It's super cheap, 20 odd pounds. If you can't get it, I'll show you on eBay. There are soldering iron kits, and these are nice as well. Soldering iron kit, but the solder in them, it's pathetic. Look, $16.99 for 80 watt, yes. Again, I'm not super fan of those kits. It's good as a spares, you know, like if you've got a spare kit, so if your kit is failing, then yes, they are fine. But the tip used here, it's not T12, and this tip is unfortunately, you know, this 80 watts will be less powerful than the 60 watt iron station of T12 kind, okay? And now don't get me wrong, it's still a good kit. I was showing it, using it for like a really long time. I think the start of the beginning of this YouTube channel till the last few months I was using this one, and it was fine, yes. and not exactly this model and don't have a display, but quite similar model. And plus you've got digital multimeter here. So if you're more of a skinny kind of a person or don't want to give it a good shot yet, you can buy this kit as well, and you've got all of those devices, including the meter, including other stuff. So to play with, you can go for this kit, okay? So that's irons. And now the next thing which I would like to talk to you is about hot air station. You can buy the cheapest to start with, but keep in mind those cheaper hot airs tend to be more faulty. The heating element in them tend to be weaker. So I don't have good hot air station. I'll show you which one I bought. Sorry if you're listening on earphones and you've got too much noise. I bought this one and I thought it will be really nice Ihua something, yeah, like that. And it has issues already. I had at one time even E5 error, yes. So it's not great, I can't recommend it anymore. And bench power supply, this one which you see, it's a 30 volts and 10 amps, QW-MS3010D for Delta. Guys, this power supply is a lifesaver. When you've got faults with game consoles, when you've got faults with laptops and other devices, even phones, you need power supply to inject the voltage, and without it, you can't do it. Why? Because ATX type of power supply, like laptop power supplies, computer power supplies, they got a short protection and they can't voltage inject. So you would have to have batteries, for instance, like 18650s, for instance. If you don't want to buy power supply, you can get old laptop batteries and take out these from inside. They've got 3-point-something volts, and if you can't inject 3-point-something volts or 4 volts, then what you can do, there are voltage regulators, DC to DC buck converter. Excuse me, you can buy them. You can attach here and you can voltage inject this way with a limiting voltage this way. Yes. It's not perfect, but it's the cheapest possible known way. Keep in mind, don't connect them in series, but in parallel. Then you'll get more amps out of them. Yes, this way. But they are quite strong. So all you need is about 5 to 10 watts, and you will start to see heat from the surface. Of course, if you get more watts, you will have the heat quicker and you will recognize fault quicker. But I will teach you that one in the next episodes, so it's no point to learn it now. Yes, just all you need to know is, if you can't afford power supply, don't buy it now. Don't buy it now, because it costs quite a few money and it's not worth to have it at the very start. And if you've got some old laptop battery, don't open it yet. Have it for now, just don't open it yet. You'll know later if you want to use it, or maybe buy bench power supply. But for now, I can tell you that it's good. Yes, it's good to start with those items which I've shown till now. Those which I'm showing next are the items which you can have later, or maybe if you want like electronics you won't buy ever again. But hot air station, it's quite dear. Power supply, it's 50 to 100 pounds, you can say. And the microscope, okay, microscope is this one I got. So this microscope here is a really nice microscope. This is full HD. I didn't want 4K because the price difference was there. And I've got VGA output, I've got HDMI output, and I love it to bits. It's super high, as you can see. I'll show you like this. It's above the board. Look, still I can't touch it. Yeah, so now I can touch it. You see how much gap you get. You get plenty of space to work with, and plus you got upper, lower. So that's less than 100 pounds. That's about 90 pounds, let's say 92 maybe. Then the VESA mount on the wall costed me like £15. There is a video I'm explaining how I built it, and because I was lazy, I've used the SAT TV or aerial TV mount because I was just too lazy to build something else myself. So this way I've built it for about 120, 130 pounds, I would say. And it's far better than buying scope or something and spending on those extra barrel lenses or whatever. This is up and down, it's quick, it's nice, you can move it around. So in that case, you know, you don't spend huge fortune, but it's still over £100. And there are other ones with a small mount to the table, and you can already get them for 90 odd quid. One of our guys bought it and he's happy with it. So for skinny people, again, on money, there are those microscopes. They are not great, but if you are skinny and you know you won't be able to afford any microscope in this price range, you can get them on AliExpress for about, I would say, 40-50 pounds. Maybe if you're lucky, it will be a bit cheaper. This has a display, this has a SD card, micro SD card, so it's a good enough to do like maybe HDMI port, but it's not really good to do favor jobs on the main boards because you can't get to the center of the main board. Yes, so then you would have to, what you would have to do is you would have to either, you know, do like that and maybe install it this way, yes, onto something, mount it like that, and then you will be able to reach favor, but it's less convenient, and you can say that it's just better to have this one, although if you count, this one still might do you well, but I wouldn't recommend that one. Yes, I can recommend you this one with, you know, like I promise you this one is good. Yes, quality. How long it will last? Well, I bought it December 2021. We've got 24th of July 2023. What I found, it was one issue which changed the color and start to become darker, the picture. I've seen it on Decoder's YouTube channel as well, and he thought it's his ring, but actually these were settings, so the settings are changing in it. I can't have a firmware for it, but I was able to go into the menu, find those things, reset them, and it's fine. Only when I'm switching it on at the very start, it has a pinky purple color. I need to go into menu, go into the black and white, and again back to colors, and the color is fine. So they are not great, okay? They are not great, but they are good that I wouldn't buy it. You know, I wouldn't buy any other. Yes. So guys, 22 minutes and you've got most of the stuff explained. If you are with us, we buy in bulk isopropyl alcohol. If you live locally, then all the local main repair shops will have isopropyl alcohol as well. That will cost you about £3.40 per liter. If you buy on your own, will cost you about £6 to £7 per liter. That's life, you know. You can't have always cheaper price, but it's still not dear because you don't use it very often. Yes, so I mean, sorry, you use it very often, but use low volume. The same with flax, the same with solder. It lasts and lasts and lasts for many months, so the cost is not that bad. Next, there are smaller devices like knives, blades. You need them, you will need them. Tips for the T12 as well. This is K type of tip. This is T12JL02 type of this. This is my favorite, by the way. Super strong. And those are all the basic tools here, which I know. You can use Q-tips or earbuds, depend where you live. Your name will be different. Excuse me. There are those small blades as well, which are useful. Come on, you know, different type of different blades. You can buy them cheap on AliExpress, everywhere actually. And then if you don't want to have wick in the bigger packaging, buy ones in this small, because this is really handy. And comparing to this one, which can open at any time, yes, it's annoying, so it's better to have this one and then wind up on this and then have this one lying somewhere, and then what's happening is you can literally see when you are reaching the end and then order another one. 2 to 3 millimeters it's worth to have, and then one bigger size as well for larger surfaces, so that's the width. And here the most common is about this one, so it's about 2 to 3 millimeters. I use it most of the time and I'm super happy with it. So if you're a bit more skinny and want to buy only one, buy 2 or 3 millimeters and you will be fine. Guys, what else I can tell you about the tools? Yeah, you could use of some of those pokers. They are in this set of soldering irons. Sometimes you can buy them on eBay. They are super nice because then you can do or scrape or, you know, attach something, detach with it. It's really convenient to do it. Those pliers, they are super cheap. They cost only a few quid. They are super sharp. These are not pliers, but these are cutters, yes, and they are useful as well. And that's it, I think, in this episode. We will have more tools explained as well, but at this stage, at this moment, the only one tool which I would recommend you would be some sort of universal power supply. I've got few. This one is the station. This one is a station showing volts, amperes, and has a wireless charging at the top. This is a USB type. This wasn't dear, you can look for it. And then there is a USB one as well. Just watch out because I've got a bit of a pickle here and I need to buy adapter because USB input is on this side and sometimes you prefer to have this side. So you need an adapter then if you buy this side, but that's my fault because I was buying it. I didn't look at it. I didn't know about it. So if I would buy this one again, I would make sure that the input will have either adapter or I will have the second type, yes. And then this comes with a small adapter to USB-C and and micro USB. So this is really nice and it doesn't cost fortune. So as well, that's a good stuff. So some sort of power supply is needed, either this dear one or this cheaper one, but you need something to recognize if the device is taking any voltage or doesn't take any voltage, yes. So it's not needed at the very start, but later will be needed. As I said, those first items are needed, and then you've got this option for £16 about with all the tools inside apart from flax. All you need to do is buy gel flax and that's good to go, or those other items which I've shown, and plus those extra items which are not a must at the start. So yes, pretty much you need about £20 to start with, as you've seen on eBay, including the flax and including that one. Okay, maybe you will spend on alcohol, so let's say £25 to start with, and then if you will buy this one as well, will be 30. So that's to start with, or take those dear options, buy every month something and spend more, but at least it will be fine. If you're dealing with the devices, grease is nice as well to have. It's a just thermal compound which you replace every so often in the devices. So that's what I forgotten to mention. And then needles, regular needles to knitting or other stuff, you know, just regular needles are as well nice if you work with microscope. Guys, that's it, that's everything. That's 28 minutes recording. I think it's enough. If I will find the solder, I'll make separated video to show you the difference in between this the one which I'll buy, and how works the soldering paste. So you will have good video only on that, because that topic is really worth knowing, because you will be struggling if you're learning about it. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. If possible, please do like or do whatever magic you can, because that's help us and motivate to do more videos. Thank you guys. Bye bye.